Shortly after D23 came a report, a rumor really, but a report that the MCU was looking at Harrison Ford, that they wanted Harrison Ford to come in and be the new Thunderbolt Ross. Of course, we tragically lost the actor who had been playing Thunderbolt Ross, which was a huge loss, but they wanted Harrison Ford. And we remember saying at the time, like, well, this may or may not happen, but we liked the choice very much. If they did it, this is great. I mean, Harrison Ford carries that whole get the hell off my lawn kind of vibe, which you kind of want in a Thunderbolt Ross, right?
Yeah.
And so we thought about it, we talked about it, and then we put it aside, saying, we'll see if it comes to pass. Well, according now to multiple sources, it's being confirmed by a number of sources. I should use the word confirmed loosely because we haven't heard it officially from the studio yet, but several significant people with reliable sources that I know are now saying it's actually a done deal. Harrison Ford is the new Thunderbolt Ross. General, his first name is Thaddeus, yes?
Yeah.
Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross
Yeah.
in the MCU. And now we can move from the theoretical to the practical. This is outstanding. Listen, the MCU now is obviously the biggest powerhouse in the world of film and all that kind of stuff. We've no longer talk about, wow, Marvel got, when they got Butch Cassidy, when they got Sundance, Robert Redford. When they got Robert Redford to be in Winter Soldier, we were like, oh my God, Marvel got Robert Redford? When they got, when they were doing Thor, right? And they went out and got Hannibal Lecter to be, Sir. They got him to be Odin. It's like, oh my God. When they got, when they were going out and they wanted a villain for Iron Man 3, and they went out and got an Academy Award winning another Sir, Ben Kingsley, to come in. It's like, they got Ben Kingsley? So, but it's been a while since we've done that because, of course, everybody wants to be in the MCU. But I'll tell you what, I get that same feeling again when they got Harrison Ford. To get Harrison Ford, who I don't even think wants to work that much anymore. And he's like, yeah, I'll be Thunderbolt Ross. Listen, that takes the way we can even look at this. I didn't care about this Thunderbolts movie. I didn't care about it till they made the casting announcements. When we found out that David Harbour was going to be in there and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, all right, I'm now interested in this movie. You tell me, actually now make it official that Harrison Ford is going to be Thunderbolt Ross in this. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's a great image.
Wow.
I don't know who made that, but that is a great image. Is going to be Thunderbolt Ross. I'm like, that takes my anticipation level for this to another level entirely because, let's face it, Harrison Ford's been in some bad things too. But Harrison Ford is not a starving actor who's just out there hoping to find a role. You have to convince Harrison Ford to be in something. And that tells me that when they sat down and pitched him, he said, all right. I think my grandchildren will understand this. I mean, so he goes out and does it. It takes my excitement level to the next level. Now, look, we should point out here that despite the thumbnail of this video, and let's bring that image up again, and this particular image, which is fantastic, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have not heard from anybody. I love the way Ray put the cigar in Harrison's mouth.
I'm Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah, the Thunderbolts.
We should point out here, there has been no official word from anybody that despite the fact in the comics that Thunderbolt Ross does become a Red Hulk, there's what?
Is he wearing a San Diego Comic-Con pass on his chest?
Yes, he is. Which is just perfect.
Well
Ray
done,
making the
Ray.
thumbnails.
Nicely
Is
done,
that a San Diego comic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
CCC.
Well, how come that was in the actual Thunderbolt
Then maybe
Ross
it just
pic?
looks like it. I don't know.
It just looks like it.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
it's
it says
well, it is. Oh, it must be.
Oh,
It might be SOCC.
I choose
Anyway,
to believe it says SDCC.
a San Diego Comic-Con pass. But we should point out that there is no confirmation anywhere or any report that, despite of what happens in the comic books, that Thunderbolt Ross will be Red Hulk in Thunderbolts. So that, I mean, look though, it does. If he was, well, now suddenly you got a foil. What happens if Thunderbolt Ross Secretary of State goes completely out of the change room. He becomes rogue, whatever. Like, that is something that you need a team of superheroes, maybe even a team of super soldier.
Rogue is in the X-Men, John. Oh my God. So embarrassing.
I shouldn't have used that one. But I mean, he could possibly then be the foil of it. Maybe the guy who's behind assembling the Thunderbolts, but then the Thunderbolts find out and realize he's the guy they got to stop. I'm just making stuff up here off the spur of that. But we want to take a moment and thank a sponsor of today's video, HelloFresh. Guys, my wife Ann and I love using HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. And that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. When you subscribe to HelloFresh, you can check Save Money off of your fall to-do list. HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than takeout and even less expensive than grocery shopping too. And HelloFresh works with your ever-changing schedule. Plans are flexible and you can choose your meals for the week, update your preferences, or change your delivery day all in the HelloFresh app. Now, you know Ann and I are both working professionals, so when it comes to dinner time, it can be a bit of a challenge. We don't really have time to cook and we don't want to eat out all the time. And that's why HelloFresh comes through so clutch for us. Not only do we get to eat delicious, nutritious food, but Ann and I both have a lot of fun getting to cook together, following the easy-to-follow steps in getting the meals made. So go to HelloFresh.com/Campea65 and use the code Campea65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/Campea65 using the code Campea65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Rob, let me ask you this. Number one, your thoughts on Harrison Ford playing Thunderbolt Ross, and then into the realm of speculation. What do you think the chances are that they actually do Red Hulk now that we know it's going to be Harrison Ford?
Well, God bless Harrison Ford, who's now in his 80s, for continuing his military career. So I God bless him. You know, far be it for him to retire. But you know what? He can pull it off. He can pull it off. And I think it's cool. Why not? I mean, it's not like Thunderbolt Ross is a pivotal character. I like when he shows up. He offers some wise pearls, rolls out the Sokovia Accords, tell the Avengers what's wrong with them. I like that. I think if there's any, like you pointed out, get off my plane, get out of my government, stop meddling in our affairs, superheroes. He could be great for that. Will he be Red Hulk? Maybe, but I can't see him doing the emotion capture on the Red Hulk. You know, I just don't. Maybe he will.
Yeah, probably they don't put him in the ping pong ball suit.
Exactly.
But the good transformation scene.
Chris, what do you think about? I mean, we've talked about it before when it was in theory, but now it looks like Harrison Ford is going to be in Thunderbolts. He's going to be Thunderbolt Ross. So what do you think about him just being in this role, period, and the chances that maybe we see him as Red Hulk?
I mean, if he absolutely is this role, I'm going to have to eat some crow. 'Cause someone last night tweeted us an image of him from like the 80s and was like, if this isn't Thaddeus Thunderbolt, I don't know who is. And I wrote, sure. Does the casting come with a time machine? Because like, yeah, I would have loved Harrison Ford in this role several decades ago, if I'm being completely honest. He's a tremendous actor, and I know he's going to bring so much gravitas and have that old man energy too of, you know, get out of here.
But is he that much older than William Hurt was? Like, how old was William Hurt when he passed away?
Wasn't he early 70s?
I think he was in his 70s,
Yeah.
so there's like 8-9 years difference. It's not
Sure.
that bad.
I mean, that's true. But also, I just want Harrison to get to rest. And it's his choice, obviously. I want him to have a nice break with Callista. I want them to go off on vacation together. Enjoy Fiji. I'm really excited about the possibilities of Harrison Ford. Him meeting Doctor Strange. He's terrified of magic in real life. That would be amazing to witness.
Get out of my kitchen.
Get out of here.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah.
Like,
By the
it'd
way,
be
again, if you
wonderful.
guys have not seen is it David Blaine?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have not seen the David Blaine doing a magic trick in Harrison Ford's kitchen, it is one of the greatest videos on YouTube you could ever possibly watch.
It's so fun.
It's
But like,
so good.
Like Rob was saying though too, I mean, mocap, I think people really underestimate how much effort it takes. When you're doing motion capture, poor
There's a
horrified
picture
eye.
of it, yeah.
When you're doing motion capture, it is so physical. You are providing the skeletal system for an animator to work off of. And you have to be really on top of your A game. It's a little different for film than it is video games because that's a little more tight and everything. You're not doing as much like close-up shots and everything. But he's going to be having to move around a lot. And I don't know if that's that kind of
does he have to?
physicality.
Yeah, what if it's just facial?
Does he need to be the one in the motion capture
If
suit?
it's just facial, you can do that. That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm just saying for a lot of these things, even if it's just you being on the stilts, like we've seen with Tatiana, like we've seen with
they ain't gonna
with
put him in
Mark,
stilts.
exactly, like we've seen with Thanos. There is a different build if you're in the scene, so he's going to be body doubled the entire time too.
Sure, but yeah, so you
You
do a
can do all of this.
You do a Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You put David Prowse in the suit. You have James Earl Jones do the voice.
Yeah, I mean, we've
so-
seen it with Rocket. We've seen all these kinds of things. So
Bradley
it's-
Cooper, just so you know, does not actually do the motion
He
capture
does
of Rocket
not.
Raccoon.
He does not. It's Sean who's crushing it. But I mean, all of this can work. I think this would be great if he does take on the role. It just is a lot for him to Hulk out potentially.
So,
Although, wouldn't you like to see him go?
oh, yeah.
Harrison
It would.
Ford's
It'd be
voice.
brilliant.
Voice?
It'd be
Absolutely.
brilliant.
that every morning. Anyways, on side note, our little impression that we're doing, I was like, why does that seem so real to me? And I forgot the character he played in that movie 42 with always with the cigar in his mouth. Hey,
Jackie.
that's why it sounded so familiar. I forgot he was in that movie. What a great movie. Anyone
He
who
was
hasn't seen
great
42.
in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
fantastic in that.
Yep.
Here's my one hesitation, and it's not about Ford. Okay, here's my one, and this is where I throw a bucket of water on everybody's hopes and dreams. But
no.
the one thing that does not sit perfectly well with me, with the idea of Red Hulk, we just talked that in the newest She-Hulk, I feel like Marvel is really cheapening the Hulk. They have.
Yeah, I know.
They've-
It's sad. It's actually really sad.
They have been cheapening the Hulk ever since Infinity War. And then they've now commodified the Hulk because not only is there Hulk, now there's She-Hulk. Now there's little baby Hulk. There's, Scar. There's Junior Hulk. And now there's going to be Red Hulk. And it's like, and so look, there are some really cool possibilities. I'm not denying that there aren't some really cool possibilities with Harrison Ford being a Red Hulk and all that kind of stuff. There absolutely are, 100%. But again, and then if you want to throw Abomination into that mix as well. But I mean, it just feels like they continue to cheapen and commodify Hulk. And it makes me worry that we are never actually going to get that true Savage Hulk again. And it's a little bit of a sad thing, but would I take that trade-off with Harrison Ford doing it? Maybe. There are a lot of upsides to it.
You don't think Hulk at this point, now that he has a baby, is going to have like mom with her toddler trapped under a van energy of just like, "Ah!"
I don't know. I started, before She-Hulk, I started to allow myself to hope. Like Hawkeye, don't do it.
the hope that
don't
kills
make
ya.
me hope. I started to have hope that, you know what? I'm starting to believe that maybe Marvel's going to go back to that true nuclear option Hulk that I love so much in the MCU. But now hey, everybody, show up to family barbecues. Oh, why don't you do somebody? Here's Little Hulk Jr. I'm like, oh man, we're never getting the real Hulk back, are we?
No, he's a family man now.
Now he's a family man. But
Yeah.
whatever, still, it's not going to ruin my take on this. That Harrison Ford doing this is great news. And maybe Red Hulk in it could actually be really advantageous to the Thunderbolts. Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Do you like the idea of Harrison Ford being Thunderbolt Ross? Do you think that could mean that we're going to get a Red Hulk out of it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.